Here Sunday the 25th of June for our Rookie Rumble. As you can tell, we got almost a full pack here tonight. Only one missing is Bruce. But to start out, we got Glenn Burton on red, Jay Latham on white, Clay Dame on green, Jackson Daugherty on orange, Carson Ross on blue, Weston Durham on yellow, and Wyatt Hambrick on purple. So as we can see here, we're going to get ready to get underway. Our racers are ready to go. I'm going to give them an announcement, and we're going green racing for 2 minutes, 8 heats long. All right, racers, watch your lights. Here we go. Excited to see these racers. New ones coming in. They'll be added to the list. Like I said, anybody can get into this up into the last 5 races, which will be the last 5 weekends. So pretty much August. See Dana Durham there quickly trying to get cars put back on. But my wife T there having to hit the track call button as we've had a big wreck there take place. This is going to be more likely the issue than not here today. Since y'all don't really want to see my mug all that much, we're going to try a little something different here today while we're going live here. Try to do a little bit of a rescale here so that you can see better the track here. You'll be able to see quite a bit of the lap times there. Got good eyes. Well, if I can rescale that or not. Well, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to rescale it. I don't have any of the stuff locked out. So we'll just go back to what we had before here. Sorry about that. Sorry about getting your hopes up. That happens, though. There we go. What I was going to try to do is widen out the Rookie Rumble there, but it would have last, I believe, cut into my left side portion of the screen, which would be fine if it would overlay it, but I believe it's a underneath all of that, so which, I don't know, maybe I can move it upward. Let me continue to give it a little bit of a look-see here. We'll go ahead and we'll get this in position. Go get about half more. We'll see if we can. Oh, it is going to let me bring it over. Good. Okay. So just going to cut a little bit of my head off here. No big deal. Live working on this. All right. Now all we got to do here currently. Move the Rookie Rumble over here so it's out of y'all's view. Now we got a little bit better of a view here. A little bit easier to do a little bit of commentating here on the race. Clay Dame out in the lead on there with the green Ford truck, I believe there, silver and green. See my wife getting the car Weston back on. We see several cars coming off the track there behind Dana Durham there. And that's the end of the heat for our first round. Clay Dame out in the lead with 52 laps, followed by Weston Durham, 49. Jackson Daugherty there with 48. Jay Latham, 45. Carson Ross, 44. Glenn Burton, 41. And Wyatt Hambrick, 38. To round up your racers for the first heat of Rookie Rumble. Going to leave you with the current Rookie Rumble standings here for the next minute or so as these racers get ready to roll. We can see Jackson Daugherty in the lead with 2 races. Bruce Millington in second with 2 races. Weston Durham in third with 2 races. Jay Latham fourth with 2 races. And Carson Ross fifth with 2 races. So this is going to change pretty drastically today since we've added a few more into the Rookie Rumble. We'll get those updated today. I'll send those into Blake at 94.7 WBIO for the Let's Talk Racing update. So if you catch that on the radio. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share Lanes Raceway to all your friends and family, anyone that you might think is interested in slot car racing. Or if you know any of these kiddos and adults, definitely send it to people they know, get them a little bit more notoriety amongst their family and friends. Minute and 33 seconds, we'll be back green racing with you.
Is everybody good to go?
All right, watch green lights. All right, so we just had a kid, Wyatt, come in here. Velcro came off the body on one of them, so we had to retape his car. His car completely stalled out there on black. There he goes. Anyways, we retaped his body up. Now he's good to go racing. Hopefully he can make up some of those laps. We can see him there, 42 total laps there, 43 made. He jumps off the track there, catches a couple other guys as victims. Carson there on purple. We said a 99 car there, Jay Latham representing 99 Aflac, and he's got the shirt on to match. That's a custom-made body here at Lanes Raceway. You can see that car there on red lane of Jay Latham. We got a little bit of a cluster up happening there. Clay Dane going to reach out in front of these guys. As we can see the give and take here between the two different gear ratios, very, very likely close together. Down on purple, we see Carson running a nice smooth race. As he goes through, and he's taking the whole field with him. Looks like we got one, maybe two cars that made it out alive. So not a full-blown J, but close enough, as we can see. All the cars falling to the bottom of the field there. It looks like Glenn Burden, Clay Dane, and Carson Ross all involved in that incident. And the white car of Wyatt Hambrick. So, like I said, we got several of those cars involved in an incident. That's going to cause them all to cluster up. And you can see like I was telling you, those are the kind of bodies we can make here at Lanes Raceway. You see the Aflac car there, the 99. That's a custom body that we printed out and painted for Jay Latham. It's been a while back. You can go check it out on our Facebook page, though. We charge $30 for those type of bodies to be made, which is around about what a custom body would cost you from anywhere else. We're not going to skimp on our hard work here for sure, but we would definitely like to have your business when making custom NASCAR-looking bodies for each one of these guys. We can see everybody really close together. We see Hambrick coming back off again on black lane. Carson getting his car put back on. Hambrick getting his put back on by Dana Durham as he goes his best to keep up there. We see a little change in pace here. Jay Latham and Glenn Burden swapping position. Wyatt still holding down the bottom position, but we got a little bit of a cluster happening. We'll be keeping all these cars on the track. It's still yet to be known. Everybody running neck and neck with each other. We see there on the white lane, Jackson. He loves running his high lanes first. He's running deep there with the red lane. Is it going to cause a wreck? Looks like both these guys in tow holding together, Jay Latham and Jackson. Jackson actually giving a little bit of the boot action to one as he continues to roll on. Jay Latham's car going to the outside. Carson getting put back on purple, but down low, him and Hambrick get into a little bit of an altercation there down low on black and purple. This making them lose just a couple laps there, but as they continue on, we see Clay Durham coming straight off in Dead Man's Corner as if he forgot to lift. Also Carson and Wyatt Hambrick coming off yet again. Hambrick, Wyatt, he's going to have some issues here early on as he gets to know these cars a little bit better. Down low is the hardest portion of the track to learn how to let off. But since his first race, it looks like he's doing a lot better as he sends Carson to the outside wall, causing an altercation between vehicles. Looks like he got Jackson in that toll up and Glenn Burden. A lot of people would say that was a dirty move, but hey, this is racing, folks. Don't pass on the outside unless you want to go to the glass, because I'm going to tell you, if you got the bottom streak advantage, the one fault is the one on the outside. Don't make passes on the outside you can't make. Cole Trickle tried to teach you this in Days of Thunder if you didn't listen. Now, yeah, granted, Cole Trickle took it to the outside there at the end and ended up winning, but that was a 1 in a million shot there, right? So don't pass on the outside. Still leading the race here, Clay Dame 105, but very close to him, Weston Durham with 99. Jackson Darty there also close with him, 95. Carson 94 right there with him. Jay Latham 92, Glenn Burden 88, and Wyatt Hambrook 80. So we can see all these guys relatively close together, spread of about 20 laps. That's usually what you're going to see in any kind of racing. It's about a spread of 20 to 30 laps. This lets you know that the field is legit, that I've noticed, especially here at Lanes Raceway. But I'm going to take you guys to our latest pinball scores this outing, and I'll be back with you when everybody gets their cars ready to go. All right, all the racers are ready. We got 3 seconds before we start going back green racing. I'm not going to go ahead and skip it. These guys can just wait till she counts down. Robert Bishop come in here. He's like, are we good enough to play Mando and Godzilla? That just shows you how much these guys love playing pinball around here. I forgot all about turning it back on. I will say this, during our live streams and stuff like that, I will say this, I do shut those off so that you guys can have a better viewing angle on our LMP Thunder series. We got 2 cameras, one showing the donut and the S-turn and the horseshoe, and the other one showing the back stretch and the front stretch. I want you guys to be able to see the full race at its full glory, the best that you can, especially whenever you put this up on your TV screen. I wish I had more camera angles, more exciting camera angles, but currently at this time, that's all we got right now. But I think it's pretty good coverage for the slot car racing that we have. A nice dive bomb pass there by Clay Durham as he goes to try to give a little bit of rubbing action to the outside of Wyatt Hambrick. But he was able to make him pass in clean as we see Carson Ross there dive bombing down low there in his blue car as he's going to be able to pull in Clay. It looks like he is, and he makes the pass, but then he brake checks himself there in the middle of the corner, causing his back end to slide out just a hair as Clay Dame goes ahead and spins him on around, taking him and Carson out. This is the kind of racing you love to see when it's really close racing like this. Like I said, we got the track turned down for these guys to 12 volts instead of the usual 14. That just helps these guys get that trigger control under control. Same way goes on the orange track currently. It's 12 volts too. Turning it down for the rookies is a pretty good thing, and it also helps some of the veterans too. Just get a little bit more of that trigger control and adjust their controllers likewise. We see Clay Doan making another dive bomb there down on Wyatt as he goes to make the outside dangerous pass there, really staying in con with Carson as Carson comes off, causing both of them to get in an incident yet again. Weston Durham there, 122. He's making that approach as best that he can, being up on the high lane. It's going to be hard for him to gain those laps, same way with Jackson. We're going to see a little bit of a turnaround as the race continues. The key here is keep your car on the track. Carson having some issues with that as he comes all the way up to blue lane and tackles Glenn. As we continue on here, you're going to see more and more of this down low action. These guys are rookies. They're going to pop off there in dead man's corner on black especially. Purple not so much anymore. These guys do have somewhat of a grip and a grasp on this kind of thing. But like I said, it's just going to be one of those things you just got to keep an eye on. So right now we got a little bit of a battle as Hambrick takes the pass on the inside yellow over Glenn Burton. Glenn Burton kind of coming off. We got a car completely off the track. That is Hambrick's car off the track there as it gets knocked out of the hands of T there. We got a little bit of a cluster up taking form here. We can see Jackson on the high side of red. He's the one in most danger there when a cluster takes form as he is in red lane. That's usually where the car is drained. We can see there off the black lane of Carson coming off yet again involving Clay. This is the third or fourth wreck they've had together. Jackson coming off on red, Hambrick coming off of yellow again as he gets put back on. We can see him going to the high side, getting into red lane, causing almost a full-blown J as we get 4 cars to come off the heat. 2 left to go and we had a full-blown J. Similar fashion, what you just seen there is how the full-blown J took place here at Lanes Raceway. We had Jay Latham coming out a little sloshy out of dead man's corner, and he ended up getting into Sam, and Sam ended up wiping everybody out of the whole field. It was a beautiful thing to see. You can actually go back and check one of our previous streams on YouTube, and it's still available there. You'd almost have to watch several ones of our previous streams to see it, but it is one of them that has comments. So in the comments, I actually posted the spot where that you can click on it, and it takes you right to it. I need to go back actually and get a hold of that and clip it so that we can put it up as like some highlighting moments here at Lanes Raceway. Another thing that's kind of crazy here at Lanes Raceway, we've had very seldom do we have a full race heat where nobody wrecks. We've had them where we've had one wreck and put back on and not had to call a track call, but the oval's a dangerous place to be and keep your car on. So these guys are definitely not out of their mix. Actually running quite well. We're not getting a whole lot of track calls here tonight. That's the end of round robin 3. Your current leader, Clay Dane, with 159. Right behind him, Weston Durham with 146. Right behind him, Carson Ross there with 145. Jay Latham right there behind him with 143. Jackson Darty completing his high lanes there with 139 as he's going to start dropping down a little bit. Glenn Burton there, 133, and Wyatt Hambrick with 123. But yeah, we can see anytime you see like people like Jay and Jackson here with their higher lanes up here, they're about 5 foot longer than the black lane. So they'll be able to come down here and run more of these faster lanes. We can see Jay actually turning 51 total laps there, only to be bested by Clay by 1 lap on green. We can see some of our guys down here down low turning 54, 51. laps respectively. But nonetheless, keep an eye out. As we can see, everybody's low 40 to low 50s is the average. About 10 laps separates them on average. We'll see how this race develops. I'll be right back with you just as soon as the racers are ready, in about a minute and 40 seconds.
It's getting better.
All right, folks, we're going back green racing. Back. Oh, right out of the gate, we see a car come to a complete crashing halt there, and that looks to be Wyatt Hambrick as his car gets tossed to the center of the track, hands on his face. He just don't know what to think here, folks. He's like, not my car, not my car. Well, lucky for him, that one is the rental here at Lanes Raceway, and we'll see him maybe try to crawl under there and get it. We usually get the hooks of life to grab cars. Looks like my wife went and found it. She's going to be bringing back here to get the hooks of life. And first hook, man, I know why I married her. Never mind the droppage there. These cars are very, very malleable, and you don't have much issues there when it comes to getting them bent back into shape. So that's what makes them great rookie cars, folks. Clay Dame out in the lead, 221 laps. We're going back green racing. Current leader of the series, Jackson Darty. Curious whether or not he's going to be able to make up some of those laps and maybe catch back up on that lead, or if he's going to stay down low, and who knows. I mean, we still got some racing left to go here for sure. We're only a little bit over halfway done as we get another car to come off there on yellow. That's Clay Dame as he dive bombs it down low, getting in a little bit of contact with Jackson there, but no bars held as we see Clay just rip it on through. Of course, all of these guys have been checked for their gear ratios. Everybody here is running either a 929 or a 1032. And this is only 1/100th of the difference in radio or in ratio terms. Is that a full-blown J? Nope, one car shy. So they should be dead up even, no matter what they do. And they are. The issue that we ended up having is that some of these cars got chipped with 10-tooth pinions, and they still had 29s on them. But the only way to get the gear ratios close is they have to, the guys that got them with those have to buy 32s. because all of them that we got now, for some reason or another, they all ship with 929s. I guess we just got a few of them early on that we sold that had 1029s in it. So, but a 1029, that would be a 2.9 gear ratio, and a 929 is a 322, I think. Double check me on that. But nonetheless, we want to keep them as close as we possibly can. We don't want some people having more top end than others. And like I said, you can tell that these cars are running there neck and neck. Median of 2.21 separated by the slowest median of a 2.50. So, and that's just simply because of wrecks. So, I mean, they're dead up even. It's just what really wins this race is keeping your car on. And like I said, these guys are doing a pretty good job of that to be rookies, keeping their cars on. We're not having a whole lot of issues here. And it's just a resolve type thing. Do I get dizzy? Am I going to be able to keep it on? We've been to this talk several times here at Lanes Raceway. But I mean, it never gets old to me. I love talking about the intricacies of these slot cars versus the track and versus the individual. We can see several individuals right there alone coming into some full-blown wrecks there. But like I said, these guys good in spirits about it. Just like whenever I was a kid running on a tri-oval there in Owensboro, it's some of the best fun I ever had as a kid. I always look forward to going back and racing, trying to get those trophies, trying to get my picture taken, all that stuff. And you know, back then they gave out track bucks. Here we give out track bucks on our regular races. In this Rookie Rumble, we're giving out something a little bit more important than track bucks. We give out, you know, full-blown cars that cost $100. We're giving out in this rookie series. We're giving out 6 months of track time. That's unheard of. You know, whoa! We got 4 cars rolling off there. Jay Latham, Lynn Burton, Wyatt Hembrick, and Clay Dame. My wife's got Clay Dame's car in her hand. I only get these guys put back on. The short reach there of Wyatt, unsuccessful in grabbing those cars on black. But nonetheless, we thank him for his effort. It looks like out of his excitement there, we must have ripped up a little bit of the foam padding there to help the guys and not have so much ankle pain here. This is a concrete floor, folks. I do look after my racers, but I'm thankful I seen that. So now I can get that re-stuck down for the guys. So I don't have to worry about that slipping out from underneath their feet. These kids, they love getting wild, you know. They keep me on my toes, and they're always, you know, doing the best that they can to be really, really super excited. Just here for a second, we're going to pull back. We can, oh, okay. Alicia says, your mic on? Mic check, no sound. Okay, mic is back on. I don't know, Alicia. Like I said, it might be where I pulled down, possibly. I hate that this cord comes through this doorway, and I think I probably pulled on that cord. Thank you for letting me know my mic's back on. Well, I don't know how much we missed there, but I'm glad I checked the chat there. I asked Jay if he won a race with the 99 Aflac, if he would do a backflip. He said, might be able to do a cartwheel. I'm definitely going to have to talk to him at the end of the race if he ends up getting it for sure. He's right there with Clay, 252 to 269. It's still anybody's ball game. That's only 3 laps average down. We can see here that Jay's still got some lower lanes to run as Clay's got to go up top. So we might see a backflip here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'd be excited to see that myself. Check back with chat here later on. But in the meantime, we're going to take you guys to our current standings, and you can see where Jay's located in the Rookie Rumble. See you in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. I hit the mute that time. All right, folks, we are back racing in about 10 seconds here. I'm going to do a quick check here, make sure I ain't missing anything. All right, Alicia says my mic's back on. That was at 8:36. No sound at 8:32. So there was several minutes there of no sound. So sorry about that. I'm not perfect. I want to mute it every time so we don't get double feedback whenever we're not racing. When I'm right up here, it kind of focuses in on my voice versus the atmosphere. Anyways, we're back green racing. Hopefully the mic is rolling good. Play Dame out in the lead, 273 to Jay Latham's 257. Carson right there behind him with 255. Weston 250. He's right there too as we get a full speed come apart there, and that's Clay Dame on his lid as he rolls through the high bank corner there on the rookie rumble. Clay Dame might want to take a look at his car after that. Such a wild hit there. Man, we see Wyatt over there. He's dancing. He's having a good time. We got music playing here at Lanes Raceway. He's enjoying it. He's into the racing. Loving it. Carson there joining in too. Carson looks like me dancing, man. I mean, some girls like that kind of dancing. I don't know. I mean, I got T. That's all I can say. But T, she's over there dancing too by Dead Man's Corner. Here we go. Another big cluster up here as we see several cars rolling in. Carson there on white lane as he dive bombs the red lane of Wyatt, and he's able to make the pass, and he does it clean so we can see down here low now Jackson in that yellow car on purple. He's about to get passed on the inside by Jay Latham, and he brake checks to let Jay go on by. That's a good maneuver there, actually. Something that you would see for people with a higher capacity of understanding, knowing that if they took that into Dead Man's Corner, it would probably spell disaster. We see Jackson just making his laps. He's keeping it in. He's going to try to make that climb back up. As he comes up on the inside to the yellow lane of Glenn Burden, he's going to try to make that pass. Glenn lets up, and he does a little bit better of a let-up job. But Glenn has got a whole lot more skill when it comes to letting up than Jackson has currently. But Jackson, like I said, the effort itself was made, and a very sharp let-up, but nonetheless a let-up. And we'll see if he can smooth that out in the future. That's what it's all about, folks, in this rookie series. Learning to smooth that trigger out, learning to be not so aggressive, keeping the car on, making those laps. If you can make those laps, everybody that's wrecking is losing at least a lap to a lap and a half. You can check it on your screen when somebody wrecks. You can see that in an instant they lost a lap just like that. I mean, that was from where that wreck started to right now. Jackson made a lap on every one of those cars. If you were focusing in on Jackson at the same time that I was. Jay Latham, 298. Carson there, who's 69, I think? No, 289, I'm sorry. Only 10 laps down. As we see Jackson making a very dangerous move, but he makes it on Glenn, and Glenn puts the outside wall busting to Weston Durham there and sends him to the outside wall. This is the dangerous part. If you see people coming on the inside, you need to do like Jackson did or like how Glenn did and check them up and, you know, let them go on by. Because there ain't no reason you getting caught in an accident just like that right there and losing a lap. Because that's how it is, folks. That's how these races are won and lost. They're won and lost by those wrecks. Because if you look at these people's times, they're right there with each other. 2.2, 2.5. Medians. These guys are running right there neck and neck as we see Jackson make another dive bomb down low. Jackson having some pretty good experience here lately. The other day practicing hard on the lower lanes. We can see Jackson there with 56 total laps turned on purple, folks. This could easily flop really quick. Carson there also running 51 laps there on black. We can see they're both at 49.5. We're going to see Carson actually kind of drop off a little bit as he goes through these higher lanes. But for Weston and Jackson, we can see that they're going to increase in theirs. Everybody else, for the most part, other than possibly Jay there on that yellow lane, they're going to start falling off. So Jackson has an opportunity here if he keeps his car on. He's still in this as he is actually 2 laps over everyone else there on purple. It's going to be exciting to see how things change here as we get towards the end portions of this race. Just checking chat there real quick to make sure there's any updates or anything. Now we're back onto this. We're going to take you to pinball scores here. Let you keep track of them as we got several people out there right now playing pinball. I think it's just Robert playing right now, but Robert, he's trying his best to get up there on the scoreboard a little bit higher. We see him, R. Bishop, with his plane there in second place on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And what a game of rush he had this past month. Minute 36 seconds, and we'll be going back green racing.
All right, racers, watch your lights.
All right, here we are, round robin, 7 of 8. This one and one more, that's it, folks. And this race will be in the books. We can see Jackson. We'll see if he has another successful run here, maybe make some climb-ups here, as he just passes Carson there to take third place. He's 12 laps down from Jay Latham, but he is on the black lane. As long as he can keep hammering it home, he's definitely within his grasp. Clay Dame, on the other hand, he's going to have to lose quite a few laps. Right now, we can see he's got 2 laps up on Clay Dame, just this heat alone. So if he keeps this trend up, it's definitely within the bag of possibility. But I will say this, Clay Dame has run an exceptional race, keeping his car on, brake checking up, and not getting involved in incidents. And this is definitely going to be beneficial for him. As we see Clay Dame there on white lane trying his best to make that pass, and just right in front of him, we see Wyatt have an incident. And this is what Clay was trying to avoid there to keep his lead. But anyways, that happens. It's racing. You make decisions the best that you can, and you just got to stick with them. And I think on both aspects there, we can see the best strategy that they took place there. We see Holbrook coming back to the outside there. Right behind him is Glenn Burton putting a little bit of pressure on him. This is good for Wyatt currently to get that kind of pressure on him as Dana Durham goes there to put his car back on it and causing a little bit of an incident there. I think that was Glenn Burton's car that got checked up there a little bit, and it was, as we see T get him put back on. But this happens on the travel. She was able to hit the track call button since technically he shouldn't have came off. He should have been able to make it right through, but Dana ended up just being a little bit over in his lane, and that's all it takes, folks. It's just an inch or so, and you cause incidents that you don't mean to. That's why you see my wife there. She was really trying to hit that track call button, but for some reason or another it didn't go because she was having issues getting the cars back on. These tight corners like that, it's really tough to get these cars back on without causing incidents. That's usually why we do run track call buttons pretty vigorously, because it could cause the whole track to end up wrecking. We see Clay Durham's truck trying to get put back on as Holbrook comes around. I'm sorry, not Holbrook, but Hambrick comes around and gets caught up in some of that action. These are kind of things you just got to learn to use your peripheral vision ahead of time. Something that Hambrick can kind of maybe look over when he watches this race. That when those wrecks take place or you hear them take place, kind of use your peripheral vision just to see, are they in my lane? And you can maybe check up. And they'll save both of your cars from getting bent. Because the one thing that wins these races and loses these races is not only keeping your car on, but making sure your car's not bent so it handles well enough that you can get in and out of the corners in a successful manner. We see Jay Latham's car coming off there. Just a nice, easy touchdown from the purple lane of Weston Durham. Just a little bit of a touch. It wasn't intentional. And we come to an end there, and we can see that Jackson was able to increase some of that lap time there with 58 total laps, tying up Clay Dame there with the best on black lane. Now, we're coming into the final heat here, and we can see that Clay's going as far up as you can go, and Jackson, he's still there on yellow. Jay Latham there, he's on orange. He's going to be a little bit harder to catch than Clay. There might be a swap up here between Jay and Clay maybe. It's still yet to be determined. Clay's running a really, really good race here tonight, but it's going to be close, folks. I don't want to say whether or not somebody's going to get it or not going to get it. It's that close of a race currently. You know, 3 laps was gained there for Jackson in favor of Jay. If he does that again, that'll make him, you know, in this consideration, would make him 358, and it wouldn't be enough to get Jay. But we'll just see what happens here as, like I said, these guys are on their high lanes now, so we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what can take place here for sure. And we got 1 minute and 45 seconds to find out this final heat. Will Clay be able to hang it on, or will Jay and Jackson catch up with him? Either way, these are most likely going to be your top 3, unless something catastrophic happens. I'm going to move you back over to our current standings and be right back with you.
Watch your lights.
All right, folks, here we are, final heat, ready to roll. Check. Lights back on. We're still good when it comes to chat, and we're rolling in this last heat. Big heat, big time in here. Jackson, Jay, and Clay, your top 3. It kind of rhymes a little bit. We'll see what takes place here. Jackson able to get that 7 lap there up on Clay. He's going to have to do a lot better than that to be able to catch him. We can see Jackson there somber as he's ready and he's biting at the bit to make a move. Runs are a little bit deep there as we get a track call, and Jackson comes off. He's just going to have to hold that resolve. Probably first place out of reach for this race as he was involved in a lot of wrecks early on, but still yet, it is possible to catch Jay, but Jay's definitely going to have to be involved in some incidents here. And I just don't know if that's going to take place tonight. As we see Jay Latham involved in an incident. There's 1 lap right there. That's a free lap that Jackson's going to get there. So he's at 364 currently, just a few laps different, 5 laps off. He's just got to make another 4 more laps within the remainder of this time to catch Jay Latham for 2nd place. We'll see what happens. He's just got to run his race and not wreck. Both him and Jay running neck and neck there, blue or yellow lane and the orange lane. Coming up behind him though on the blue lane is Wyatt Holbrook, and he takes Jay out to make Jay lose another lap here. They will click on the track call button. Is it going to be enough? We know Jackson is really biting at the bit, at least to get 2nd place. A little bit late of a start there as he comes around, and Jay's off yet again. Jay's having some issues there with that car, possibly bent. 372 to 376. That's 2 laps gained by Jackson so far. This will make 2.5 technically. So we'll see what happens here. It's going to be tough. It's like I said, Jay's going to have to come off quite a bit for that to take place. But Jackson, you know, he's just got to keep his car on. We got a tight little bit of a race going on here. Come on, Jay. 4 laps separate these two. 4 laps. We see a stalled out car there on blue. That's Wyatt's car. possible messed up braid, possible broke guide wire. Who knows what it could be at this point. Minute and 12 seconds. Pins and needles, essentially. Could be a busted motor. That car's been through the ringer here at Lanes Raceway, I know for sure. And it's back rolling. But back to the focus here at hand, we see the 24 laps turned of Jackson to the 22 laps turned of Jay Latham. 1 minute left to go in this heat. We are 381 to 384. And Jay Latham and Clay Dane, just 5 laps different. We see Jackson get up in front of Jay right here. Will he be able to hold it? And so far he is holding it. As he does a good timid little bit of movement there as a full speed come apart happens, I believe with Clay's car, as he lodged that wall pretty strict there and hard. But we're back green racing, and we see Jackson running on the inside of Jay Latham. Jay Latham getting kind of hung up a little bit there in Dead Man's Corner. Jackson running nice and smooth, keeping her rolling. We see about 16 or 17 car lengths difference between these two. Now about a half track length here. As we get a full speed come apart here to take place, and we get a rider to take place there on Jackson's car on orange. He's about to turn an extra lap for Jay there, but he gets put back on yellow there. Just never know what's going to happen here. This actually benefited Jackson a little bit as he got rolled around there a little bit more. Dana pushing back on the car there. Not good practice when you're track marshaling and push back on cars. Hopefully that car will take off. It does. Because it can pull the braids backwards. These braids always need to be where they can slipstream there with the track. 396 to 398, 2 laps separates these guys. 23 seconds left to go. He's going to have to do something and do it quick. And it looks like he's going to gain him a lap right there. And that's going to bring it to 399 to 401. Well, Jackson had a little bit of a slow lead there. 17 seconds left to go. He's reeling in the best he can to Jay Latham. These guys are running really close together. We get a car completely coming off the track. That'd be Carson Ross there, his car rolling off. Not much exciting things happen with Carson. His wreck's been down to a minimum here lately. We can see there his 391, 392 range. Of course, the car coming all the way up to Clay Dane, and we got the end of the race there results. Clay Dane in first place for 412. Jay Latham, 410. Jackson right there in the mix with 408. Just a couple laps. That's the only thing that separates. Weston Durham, what a race he had too. 402, just 6 laps down from Jackson. We got Carson Ross there, 391, right there behind them. Like we're starting to see a gradient here. Glenn Burden there with 388, and Wyatt, the newcomer. Wyatt Hambrick with 351 total laps. What a race he had for his first time. And Carson finished the race with a broke bushing. I'm just now getting that in. So what a race. Carson be able to hang that car on there and still turn 51 laps on black. So that's it here for the Rookie Rumble race. We're going to get these pictures posted up for these guys. Watch me get a picture of these laps. I'm going to total them all up. We're going to update the turnout for these racers and make sure they get put on the radio show. I think it's this coming Tuesday. It might be next Tuesday at 94.7 WBIO. And check those guys out at 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. And you can check that out on Let's Talk Racing on their Facebook page out of Owensboro, Kentucky. And, you know, just say hi to Blake while you're there. Blake's been passing out stuff for Lanes Raceway. And he loves to give out free track time at Lanes Raceway for the winners. And we enjoy that, too. So definitely stop by and give Blake a hello for sure from us here at Lanes Raceway. Thank you guys. God bless you. And good